and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call, please, Carol. Is this on?
Yes. Steve Beardsley,
Present.
Isaac Chavez.
Present.
Taylor Crenshaw is absent. John Large,
Present.
Robert Stevens,
Present.
Clarence Worthen,
Present.
Eric Woods.
Present.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have the minutes from the June 10th, 2024 regular meeting.
I move acceptance of the June 10th, 2024 regular meeting minutes.
Wait a second.
Roll call, please, Carol.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Isaac Chavez,
Aye.
John Large,
Aye.
Robert Stevens,
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, did we have any public comments? Nothing? Okay, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, we have ordinance number 24-15. Could I have a motion?
I move we read by title only.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sorry,
It's okay.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Isaac Chavez,
Aye.
John Large,
Aye.
Robert Stevens,
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Common Council, City of Frankfort, ordinance number 24-15, an ordinance annexing certain territory to the City of Frankfort, Indiana, placing the same within the corporate boundaries thereof, and making the same a part of the City of Frankfort, Indiana. 180 Resources.
So this is a voluntary annexation by 180. We cannot pass that, if I'm correct on this, right, Carol? Because we have to have a public hearing.
We have to have a public hearing within 30
30
days of passing the fiscal plan.
And we thought we were going to be able to do that like in 2 weeks, but that's not going to work either. I think, do you have any notes on that from Alicia? I think she said,
Yeah, it needs to be published in the newspaper by July 12th. And then to fit within the timing, there's basically a 2-day window that the hearing can be had, and it's August 6th or August 7th. Otherwise, the petition will need to be refiled.
August 6th or 7th?
Yep.
So I don't know how we want to handle that, but we can go ahead and take, if you want to pass this on first reading, and then we'll talk about how we're going to do the next with the public hearing.
Just those 2 days or by that or after that?
No, my understanding is due to the timing and our restrictions on publication, because the Times is limited publication now, that's the 2-day window that the hearing has to be.
What days are those?
That is a Tuesday and Wednesday in the first full week of August.
So we can't do it on the 22nd of this month.
No,
No.
That's, I know that was the plan
that was the
originally.
plan, yeah, but it can't happen because of the timing of
Publication of the public hearing.
publication.
Okay.
So the 6th and 7th, that's a Tuesday,
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
And that following week, on the 13th, 14th, and 15th is our budget hearing scheduled dates.
Yeah, on the 12th, we have our regular meeting, and then we'll start the budget hearings on 13th, 14th, and 15th. So who would be available, like 6th, 7th?
I'm good.
Either
I'm good.
on any of them? You're not? You're not? Clarence?
I think I would be.
Isaac?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Would remote attendance count for that, though? Would that be allowed? There's certain things that you can't do remotely, like a final budget, things like that. But if so, I could attend remotely.
Me too. I'm not aware of anything that would prohibit remote for this.
You think it would be okay?
I think so.
If you get down to it and you need remote, Eric and I could jump in.
And that gives you plenty of time to advertise it and
So you're going to do it on the 6th or 7th?
I
How about the
actually,
6th, well, the 6th.
The 6th?
6th? Okay, what time would you like to schedule that for? You want to do 7 or earlier, or?
Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Whatever's good for you.
That's probably all we're going to do that evening, as far as I know right now.
Okay.
My schedule's always flexible.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care.
When we went to the one meeting, we kind of informally said that if there were additional meetings, we wouldn't have minutes, we wouldn't have public hearings, it would just deal with the
With that
issue
particular
was
issue.
Called for.
Okay,
That would be a public hearing and passing that on second reading.
good. Okay.
Gone.
You want to do 6,
6?
7?
That's fine, 6th.
6? Okay,
6.
let's do 6. 6 on this 6th,
What time? 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock. We haven't had a motion to pass this on first.
no, we are still waiting on a motion for first reading.
I'll move to pass ordinance 2415 on first reading.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Isaac Chavez, John Large,
Aye.
Robert Stevens, Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, ordinance number 24-15 passes on first reading. Next, we have ordinance number 24-16, and this is also in the first reading.
I move we read by title only.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Isaac Chavez, John Large,
Aye.
Robert Stevens,
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Common Council, City of Frankfort, Indiana, ordinance number 2416, an ordinance amending ordinance 17-08 regarding the Ordinance Violations Bureau, ordinance 77-2 regarding penalty, ordinance 81-1 regarding unlawful noise, and ordinance from 1975 code regarding animals as nuisances, and repealing ordinance 68-3 regarding unnecessary vehicle noise, and ordinance 70-1 regarding disturbing the peace.
And I've asked Chief Shoemaker if he'd come up and talk to us about this ordinance, and did you have anything from Alicia? Not really.
Procedurally only.
Okay.
Good evening. We've had an increase in complaints regarding noise. To date, we've had 105 complaints for noise, same time last year, 97. So we've had eight new complaints in the same time period. The year before that was 118, so technically we're down in a 2-year period. However, when reviewing the ordinances, the penalties are not worth the time for the officer or the department to write the citation. In fact, I believe unlawful noise was in the Bureau, making it a $30 fine. So you'll see we're requesting an increase to $50 for the first offense, $100 for the second, and $250 for the third. While we were researching these ordinances, we wanted to make it that there's a public sentiment that there's an 11 o'clock hour of when noise is to end, and that has not existed ever in the city's history. But because so many people think it, I'm asking the council to make it 11 o'clock officially, so that we have, instead of using sound meters and devices and all those items that we do not have or nor want to purchase, that we just say at 11 o'clock. But we also say that the noise shall not be played, to where you could hear it off the property, regardless of a time. And so the ordinance currently talks about sound level meters, noise levels. We haven't done that since, that was passed in 1981. The mayor remembers such device. I've never seen a device in the 20 years that I've been here. But when researching other cities, Some do. Lafayette uses a noise meter. Indianapolis does not. Most cities do not. And so what we're asking, simply changing Chapter 95 from noise control to unlawful noise, which would then give general prohibitions that essentially says that no person shall make or cause to be made any noise that unreasonably annoys, disturbs, injures, or endangers the comfort, repose, health, peace, safety, or welfare of any person or precludes their enjoyment of property or affects their property's value. So it's pretty simple. Any machine and device for producing sound, any operation of such machine or device in a manner that produces sound plainly audible to a person with a normal hearing from any other property from any other place in the property on which the sound source is located when that machine and device is being operated between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. And then also from a distance greater than 75 feet from the sound source of the machine or device when it is located in any public street or public place of the city. We're also asking to just add animal noise to this section and get rid of it in Chapter 90. And we're also saying that participating in any party or gathering between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m., giving rise to noise that is plainly audible across property boundaries. When the act is on private property or emitting from a vehicle on public property, the owner of the property or vehicle shall be in violation of the section. So what we're asking is that sometimes if the owner is allowing this, instead of going to the person playing the music, we'll deal with the owner of the property and have them correct it. If not, then they will probably receive the citation. There are some exemptions: emergency vehicles, sirens, lawnmowers, garden tractors, and similar home power tools when properly muffled. Most cities have a time for that. I put that in. I don't know if I know there's a question or two about mowing after 8 o'clock. That's up to all of this is up to you all, obviously, on how you want to handle that. Audible burglar alarms on vehicles and homes, obviously, when they're sounding for emergency, that we would respond and they would, not be cited for that. And then on celebrations, the original ordinance in 1981 listed Halloween. But I went ahead and because of 4th of July and other events, we were asking that any legal holiday, that the time will end at midnight at the end of that day, or when the authorized parade has ended. If you turn 9004 is where we're taking animal noise out of the animal nuisance and just keeping it with odorous animals, taking the noise out, and then also deleting Chapter 131.29, unnecessary vehicle noise prohibited. It'll be handled by the noise ordinance, and any kind of muffler issue is already handled by Indiana statute 919.8, which has a steeper penalty than our city ordinance. And disturbing the peace, 131.16 passed in sometime before 70 maybe or earlier. Disturbing the peace is covered by the noise ordinance and covered by Indiana statute for disorderly conduct. And so we feel that ordinance can be eliminated. Any questions?
Chief, our community is largely industrial, have a big base of that, and an awful lot of those people are second or third shift where they're needing hours to sleep during it. So there still is the unreasonable amount of noise anytime across property. Is that correct?
Yeah, as long as if first somebody has to complain.
Yeah, I understand.
And I think there's a common misconception that we're just supposed to patrol around and deter that. Yeah. But if anybody would actually read the law, police officers cannot be complainants of loud noise.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the courts have ruled that a complainant has to be a citizen. So as long as they call
Yeah,
and not post on Facebook?
but during the day, not just after 11 o'clock.
Yeah, you-
Could that, unreasonable amount of noise anytime can be complained.
And yes, they'll be able to do that. And honestly, we don't get a lot of that.
Yeah. Just wondering as far as the once it gets into the courtroom that makes an unreasonable noise on the animals, who's going to decide what's reasonable?
So the way we do it is a lot of times what we'll do if we get a call for a barking dog, it's always a barking dog. The officers to, pull down the street and sit and listen for the dog to bark and try to see why is it barking? Is it barking because somebody's walking by or a car's going by? 9 times out of 10, that's the issue. There's a rarity where apparently people complain because the dogs are barking, what I call incessantly, barking for attention, barking to bark, because they're not getting taken care of. And that's the animal noise that we would issue, potentially
Because
issue.
almost all dogs are going to bark some, but what we're talking about here is the incessant unreasonable.
But yeah, barking, it's not barking at anything, it's just barking.
Just barking.
Barking to bark, barking to get inside,
Okay.
or, barking. There are times where dogs just bark and continuously bark, and apparently homeowners don't hear that.
Yeah. Just wanted clarification. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's my understanding, or you may have the notes on that as well, that this could be passed first and second reading tonight if we want to, or however you want to.
Yeah, if unanimous by the council, it can be passed on first and second.
Is there a need for it to be quickly?
I don't think there's a need. I think that it's up to you. I think we, the public deserves a chance to comment, I would say, over the next month.
Rather, unless there's some urgent need, I'd rather it go through the process personally.
Especially with a fee increase, I think we owe it to them for multiple reasons. The only comment I would make is, in July, I will probably be mowing my yard at 9 o'clock. So is instead of the 8 PM on 95.04, paragraph B, is there a more appropriate, is sundown appropriate? I think 8's too early in the dead of summer.
I mow mine late, but,
But I don't want my neighbor mowing at 10:45 either.
no. Well, my neighbors don't, I've been there a long time, so they don't complain. Like the chief said, I think unless somebody complains, I don't think anybody's gonna get all rattled about it. And if you do it and they haven't complained so far, they're probably not going to, so.
Yeah, I think there's a theory that we're not going to do anything. But again, we cannot act on this without a complaint from the public. It's the law. It's police officers don't have the right to complain for noise. Just like you have the right to yell at a police officer. You have the right to contest the government. We don't have the right to arrest somebody for, yelling at us and being upset with the decision we make. But we also can't go around for city ordinances and noise. It's established law that we cannot be the complainant of that. It's unfortunate, but that's the way we see a lot of cars that are, playing loud music, and people say, well, there's the police. Well, you have to wave us down. Unfortunately, that's the way the law works. But I think a month would be until the next meeting, a chance for the public to comment, and then I don't think we can make any changes tonight, but we could potentially, I don't know what the time.
Meeting, wouldn't we? Any amendments or anything they want to change would have to be on the second.
Well, I know as far as what they were saying about till dawn or dusk, my only problem is I do construction during the winter. A lot of times I'm working 8 o'clock at night and it's dark out, but I'm still working. Try not to make too much noise when I'm working outside, but
So that's a good
happens.
reason to think about this and maybe come up with some different language.
Yeah, assuming we have that we will review this over the next month and come with amendments, I would move that we go ahead and pass it on first reading tonight.
I'll second.
Roll call, please, Carol.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Isaac Chavez,
Aye.
John Large,
Aye.
Robert Stevens,
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance number 24-16 passes on first reading. Thank you, Chief. Next, we have ordinance number 24-17.
Move to read ordinance 2417 by title only.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Isaac Chavez,
Aye.
John Large,
Aye.
Robert Stevens, Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Additional appropriation ordinance number 24-17.
You want to talk to him about this, Carol?
Yes, so since December of '22, we have been periodically receiving opioid funds, which are from the multiple national settlements that are going on with several different large corporations. As we receive them in, we cannot spend until they're appropriated. These are the funds we had funds that we received in 22 and 23. We appropriated those and distributed them, and this is the funds that we've received since that time in I think 2 or 3 different installments, but that's the total. So the state does require that we appropriate them in order to spend.
And if you remember correctly, Laura Archibald was here and explained what the committee had put together on what they wanted to use the restricted funds for. So this is so we're able to do that. We're ready to disperse that money to the different agencies, but we can't do it until we do an additional. And we will have to have a public hearing. So it'll be-
Correct. This
yeah.
could only be passed on first reading tonight because the next, if it goes with first reading, then the next meeting will require public hearing.
Now, we're appropriating these to go like other services? Is that what we're,
Do you remember when Laura was here and she talked about the task force had gotten together and we had different
Yeah,
agencies
yeah.
that had requested money?
right?
Those have been approved, and the county has agreed to appropriate a certain amount, and then the city as well. We split the cost on some of those things. So right now, this is just the ones that she talked to us about. And
Both of these or just the
not the unrestricted. It's only the restricted. That's all the task force
Yes,
works
okay.
on. The unrestricted can be used for any purpose, and we haven't really talked about how to use that yet.
Okay, but, so we don't have to appropriate it to a cause? Are we appropriating it to the capital outlays or what? I'm trying to figure out where the money's gonna go.
Okay, right now, on the 75,000, it's gonna go in other services and charges on that line
Okay,
for restricted. And then the other, has asked to have that in capital outlays of $30,041.
that's what I was asking.
But we don't know what we're gonna spend that on. We have not had a discussion on that, but
But it goes into that fund, on that line item?
yes, on that appropriation, yes.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
Okay,
and we can only spend up to what we appropriate.
sure.
And I don't know what the balances are right now, but does that cover all the balance in there?
Everything we've received to
Okay.
date is covered in here.
But we keep receiving
Yes.
funds.
Yes, I
Yeah.
understand.
And we
Yeah.
don't know when they're going to come in. It's just based on as settlements are received through this whole
Yeah.
process.
Okay, so I move we pass ordinance 12/24/17, or 24/17 on first reading.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Isaac Chavez,
Aye.
John Large,
Aye.
Robert Stevens,
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye,
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance number 24-17 passes on first reading. And then the next reading, we'll have a public hearing and second reading. Okay, next we have ordinance number 24-18. And this is on first reading.
Move we read by title only.
Actually, Mr. Triplett, I'm going to defer to you on this. Alicia explained to me that this does not require two readings due to the nature of the type of amendment it is. I don't know if it requires the title only.
No, it does not
As
require
well.
the normal treatment. It just needs a motion to approve, disapprove, or table.
Because it's part of the UDO. Is that correct?
Yep.
And I also have Don here to speak to you. So how do we, can we just do it, like, should we go ahead and make a motion to pass it and then have him speak, or can he speak and then, does it make a difference? Okay, okay. Don, do you want to go ahead and,
I will. Thank you, Mayor. Councilman, 2 weeks ago at the City Plan Commission, the Plan Commission recommended to you to rezone a piece of property on Catterland Street, 559 Catterland Street, from B residential to C residential. I placed at each of your chairs a picture of the facility at 559 Catterland Street. And I will also say that this property also touches other areas zoned to C residential that runs down Washington Avenue. So basically, the petitioner, which is Dave Crandall, he's proposing to zone the petition site to C residential district for multifamily dwellings of 4 apartments already on the property. And the reason why I gave you the picture is that the picture of the front of the house, you can see that there are 2 front doors. This home was built for it to be an apartment complex. It was not built as a single-family dwelling that was then changed to multifamily. If it would have been that, I would have never taken it before the Plan Commission, because our comprehensive plan states that we're to get rid of 8 of those conversion-type homes a year. And I don't believe that this is a conversion home. I think that this home was actually built to be a multifamily dwelling. And so we took it before the Plan Commission. We had the discussion. We had findings. If you want me to read the findings, I'm more than happy to do so on why this should be changed. I have them in front of me. But basically, the Plan Commission and myself both say that this should be a multifamily dwelling. Now then, people are going to say, well, there's 5 meters outside. Well, that Dave explained that. There are going to be 4 apartments in this complex. There is enough room on the property for 4 off-street parking and still stay under the impervious surface ratio of 50%. So that's all covered. And the 5th meter is there because there are things that the owner of the property will be paying for, such as lights in the hallways. He named a couple of other things. So that meter belongs to him. The 4 meters will belong to the people who are renting. The apartments are 1-bedroom rentals. So, there's not going to be a lot of individuals coming to this facility. And so the Plan Commission passed it for you to accept, deny, or make amendments to, and send it back to the Plan Commission.
Would you say it was previously how many units?
There were 4 in it to begin with, maybe 5, but there are going to be 4 in it now.
It's not empty right now, is it?
It is. And the reason, I'm glad you brought that up, the reason why when we rezoned or did the city map that we didn't make that a multifamily dwelling or C residential was because it's been empty for a long period of time. And then Dave, it worked out over a couple of years purchasing this. And as you can see, it has new windows, new siding, a new electrical going in. I told him to hold up until we could get this rezoned. I told him I did not recommend that this go before the BZA for a use variance, a spot zone, which stays with the property owner. I didn't do that because I truly believe that this is an apartment complex that should be zoned in a C residential neighborhood and zoned permanently. We had nobody show up. Everybody within 100 feet gets notified of the hearing at the or at the Plan Commission. No one showed up to voice a concern or discontent for it.
So he's in the process of remodeling this, obviously.
He is. I don't think it's ready for rental at all, and he's got to put in some parking facilities that's not there yet. He claims that on the back side, this has two alleys, one that comes up on the south side of the property and an alley in the back. And he claims that the alley off the back already has gravel back there. I couldn't tell, it's all grass. So, but in our measurements of impervious surfaces, those 4 lots still grant him 50% of his property to absorb water.
What's the pleasure of the council?
He needs to retract his motion, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, because we don't have to read it by titles. Yeah. Retract that.
I'll move to pass 2418 on first only reading.
Second.
I'm sorry, who was the second? Mr. Stevens, thank you.
Okay, roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley.
Aye.
Isaac Chavez. John Large.
Aye.
Robert Stevens. Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Okay. Ordinance 24-18 passes. Now if I can find my 19. Okay, next on the agenda that I've written in is ordinance number 24-19. Can we go ahead and take care of that before we go to the resolutions? I think everybody received a copy.
Yeah,
correct?
this was a late minute addition. I did email it, and we also provided a hard copy.
I did not have time to read this personally. Someone going to explain it?
I think Bill's going to tell us what he knows.
I've got a limited understanding, but my understanding is that this ordinance was drafted in order to get the city to comply with state law because of expenses that were prepaid by the MS4 coordinator. That's essentially all I know about it.
So this was prepared by Wessler,
Yep.
is that correct?
Yep.
Yes, and there were a couple of typos in it, so they took care of that. As far, I think there was, stormwater, something was spelled wrong on there. And then it's the way that they're doing the permitting. Did she say anything like that to you? Yeah, the way that now they want it done. So we need to clean up our ordinance to be in compliance with state law.
And you do have the option to pass this on both first and second reading.
I'll move to read by title only.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley.
Aye.
Isaac Chavez.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Aye.
Common Council, City of Frankfort, Indiana, ordinance number 24-19, an ordinance amending Chapter 53 of the Code of Ordinances regarding storm sewer system.
We can suspend the rules to a first and second, or if you want to just,
Is there an urgency?
not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Given that, I'll move to pass ordinance 2419 on first reading.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley.
Aye.
Isaac Chavez.
Aye.
John Large.
Aye.
Robert Stevens.
Aye.
Clarence Worthen.
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Okay, ordinance number 24-19 passes on first reading. Next, we have resolution number 24-08.
I believe this is the resolution that adopts the fiscal plan pertaining to the annexation of 180 Resources.
That's right. This resolution has to pass in order for you to have the August 6th hearing.
And I might mention also in your packet there, you have a sheet titled Voluntary Annexation Process. That's just kind of a rundown of the entire process so that you can see what the steps are. And you also have a copy of the petition for voluntary annexation. Both of those things are for your information. There's no action to be taken with those.
Fiscal plan has a zero sum, nothing at all.
I believe they're required, aren't they, to have a fiscal plan
Yes.
at the time?
Yep. We can't publish until the fiscal plan's been adopted. That's why the whole time frame for the August 6th hearing's thrown off.
I move we pass Resolution 2408.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Steve Beardsley,
Aye.
Isaac Chavez,
Aye.
John Large,
Aye.
Robert Stevens,
Aye.
Clarence Worthen,
Aye.
Eric Woods.
Resolution number 24-08 passes. I know on the agenda we have resolution number 24-09, and I don't believe we're ready to have that come before the council at this time. I can't even find my copy of it.
Can we correct the road number on that?
Yes, we will. We will get that corrected.
We can't do it tonight and pass it as amended?
This is actually should say 600 West,
Yeah.
but it was sent to me as 600 South, and I didn't catch that it was incorrect. So the address is just labeled incorrectly. There's also other issues with it, so that's not the only,
That's not the
Okay,
only thing.
that's
that's not the only thing, but
That's not
we'll
what I
take care of
found.
that. Yeah.
I have some questions that I'd like to ask the attorney that prepared it and
Okay,
Reedy before we go ahead
Okay.
with that.
so we're just going to table it? Or just not do anything with it?
Yeah, if you want to do it. What if we make the changes on it, though?
If you're able to make the changes, you can go ahead and do that.
Well, not tonight, but let's say that if we table this, but yet we need changes made, should we go ahead and table it, or can we just not bring it before the council?
Not to bring.
Yeah,
That's what I say. We're
Yeah,
not
just-
gonna, yeah, yeah. Because there's gonna have to be some changes. Okay, does anybody have anything under old business? Okay, new business. North Central Indiana Regional Partnership. We have Stephen Ray and Shan Sheridan with us tonight.
Giving me some of your time this evening. I've got a handful of things that I'd like to go over with you. And first thing is just a real quick snapshot of what we've been able to get accomplished over the last 9.5 years.
Thank you.
So what you have in front of you is our dashboard. And what you see in the top right or left-hand corner is since 2014, we've secured more than $22 million for all the communities within our region. That's our just normal, everyday operations. What that does not take into account, in the list below that on the bottom left-hand side, does not take into account the ready dollars. So that 22 million is ballpark about 130 so projects. Shows a return on investment of, I think, ballpark about $14. So for every dollar that our units of local government have put into our budget, we've returned $14 back over the 9.5 so years. Upper right shows how those funds are allocated to each of the counties, or how they've been allocated to each of the counties. That pie diagram does include Ready One, so it's the 22 plus the 35 from Ready One. And then in the bottom right-hand corner shows that Ready One was 21 projects, and then lists the 3 projects that we have going on here in Clinton County. A little bit on Ready 2 real quick. Ready 2 was announced back in April. The region secured $35 million. We were one of 4 regions that saw an increase in funding from Ready 1 to Ready 2. We're currently going through the process of identifying our projects and then bringing them within that $35 million budget. Basically, it's the same process as Ready One. There's a steering committee of 5 to 6 individuals from each county, and then our executive committee is 1 member from each county. Ultimately works together to bring our projects within that $35 million. We're hoping to have that done sooner rather than later, but as you can imagine, when you start out with about 65 projects and $95 million in ask, it's a bit of a challenge to bring it down within that 35. So we meet on a regular basis, and we're working through that process. Any questions on?
So each one of the counties that are involved in this have the opportunity to help with that $35 million, how that's dispersed. Clarence, have you been going to the meetings? Have you, John, been to any yet? I think you're the alternate, aren't you?
I guess.
I think they made you the alternate one time.
That's fine, that's okay,
Yeah,
good.
so you've been,
No, I haven't.
We have a meeting tomorrow
oh,
at 1:30 at Kokomo.
Kokomo,
you're gonna be working, aren't you?
gotta be here, I'll be working. I
Okay, well,
can't leave, I can't.
that's when the next meeting is.
Tomorrow.
Then you'll have something to report back to us maybe by the next.
Sure.
meeting. Okay.
If we come up with anything, anything concrete,
I'm sorry, I can't,
that's okay.
The next thing for your consideration is because of Ready and the dollar amount. Our attorney suggested that we enter into a contract for services. So we have put together a contract. And the way that Clinton County operates is that the county pays half of the budget and the city pays the other half. We've been working under that model for almost 9 years, 10 years now. So we've put together the contract that I ask for your consideration. It doesn't have to be signed tonight if you've not had an opportunity to review it. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And if we can get that executed at your next meeting, that would be great.
Stephen, just go back, you mentioned, did you say 1 representative from each county is on the executive committee?
Yes,
So just 1 from Clinton County.
just one.
Who is that currently, Shan?
Shan.
Okay. And then we're allowed up to 5 on a steering committee per county?
5 or 6, yeah.
I would encourage some other people to get on there with me.
So, just to clarify, are we talking Ready, or are we talking the executive, or the board of directors?
The board of directors.
Board of directors. So our board of directors is comprised of a county commissioner, county council, city, county seat, the economic development, and a small community.
In a small community?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the steering committee can be made up of whomever you'll,
Okay.
for the Ready program.
And last year's Ready, I just, it was Casper listed, Callahan.
So the last thing is, if I'm giving you a service contract, leave you with the invoice.
Fund report.
Fund. Got it right here.
Oh, it's in the appropriation.
Yeah, I don't have the
You don't have the
appropriation down
appropriation,
here.
okay. I don't think I have an appropriation either.
I think there's like 13.5 in there.
So that's this year's, so. That'd be the same for, or is this contract just for this year as well?
It's
So,
a 2-year contract that automatically renews unless one of the parties decides to opt out.
I'm gonna have Phil, let Alicia look this over
Absolutely.
just to make sure, and she can present it then at our next meeting.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you. For your time. Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Thank you. Okay, Jason, do you want to go ahead and talk to us, and then I'll start talking about the vacancies on each one of the committees and that type of thing, but I'll let you speak first.
Thanks for taking a little bit of time for me tonight. Just wanted to bring in front of the council, I did in Board of Works today. Kimberly and I and the mayor are beginning to work on a Safe Streets and Roads for All grant with American Structure Point. What this is, and I'm going to send you these all on email, so you all have them, so you can read over them and take a look at them. If you have any questions, obviously, just give me a holler. But what this does is it's obviously Safe Streets. It enables us to apply for an 80/20 grant through the Indiana Department of Transportation. There's two different types. One is a planning and demonstration grant, and one is an implementation grant. The planning and demonstration grant, you have to have that before you can actually go and achieve that grant, before you can actually go and look at an implementation grant. The planning and demonstration grants run from anywhere from $100,000 to $10 million, and then the implementation grants can go as much as $2.5 million to $25 million. What these grants do is, and I've heard from many different people that no one has ever been turned down for any of this, which is a good thing to hear. But what this does is, because we are all working towards all these 80/20 federally funded grants in our city, obviously we're getting ready to go back after Mash Road, Kelly Road around the corner. We're looking at Williams Road. I spoke, I think, at the last council meeting about Williams Road, Barner Street. There's a lot of opportunity for 80/20 moving forward. But what this does is, it's just another feather in our cap for those type of projects for now and the future. It gives us an opportunity to say, okay, this grant, if we're awarded any kind of grant through this program, it can be copied and pasted to our grant for these big 80/20 federal grants, obviously with much more money involved. But Kimberly and I and the mayor have sit down with, Kimberly and I have had a Zoom call with American Structure Point and all the people that will be involved with that and moving forward with us. We're going to go on the 18th of July and sit down with their team down at their office in Indianapolis, just so the mayor can kind of be introduced to their team. Like I said in the past, they're excellent people to work with, but this is something that they take a look at, and they look at the population of the city. They look at accident information. They look at all kinds of different things, and then they come up with a number that they feel is a good number for us to try to achieve. And then we sit down and we go after it. It's not a real difficult grant to achieve. There's not a lot of information. There is a lot of, gathering information from the police department, maybe the fire department, just some things like that. And obviously, just a wherewithal with what we want to do as far as filling the grant out and why the city's looking at it. But, Mash Road, and, we know it's been done for safety reasons from the get-go. As soon as we started the north end and got to the second phase there, and now the third phase. But anything we do is always safety-driven. And so this will allow us to have this feather in our cap and be able to use this for years to come. Obviously, long after we're all here, probably, this will be able to be continued to be used. And some of these grant monies can be used to offset maybe costs to the city when we do our 20% of these federally funded grants. Obviously, I think that would be up to us as how we wanted to use it. But anyway, they kind of look at things with data that we've given them and let us know what we need to go after, and then we just go do it. And I wanted to bring it to you tonight because this is something that's due in October. We don't have a lot of time, so we want to get on it and try to get this done. And then we'll be going after Mash Road. I think it's due in December or something like that, soon after that. So I maybe have those switched around, but either way, we don't have a lot of time to get on it. So we want to be able to have this opportunity, get this turned in, and we've done a lot of work ahead of time, but wanted to bring it to you tonight. So if you have any questions, like I said, I'll email this to you, but I'll have any questions tonight, I'll be happy to answer them. And once you read everything, and if you have any questions after that, by all means, email me or give me a call, and I'll be happy to answer everything I can. So,
Anybody have anything for Jason?
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Yep.
Another thing, just real quickly, Eric and I met with Jordan and Alan and the city and county attorneys, and we talked about police services out in the annexed area. And according to our fiscal plan, I think it was a little confusing where it said the police would immediately, that would become their jurisdiction, and you go down to another paragraph. And Scott, you can probably tell this better than me, but do you want to? Yeah. So we had to talk about that at a meeting, and we're hoping to take that over sooner.
Yeah, the resolution that was passed indicates that the police would take immediate jurisdiction, but then there's discussion on servicing that within a year. But the next paragraph talks about fire. It says that they would cover it within a year. Ours says immediate. And so when you read it, there is some confusion. And this stems already, we've had a couple different, there's no big rift with the county. The county sheriff's office has been covering it and not a problem. The county commissioners, there was some question on why we're not covering the area out there. This has been going on for, since March? And I've contended the whole time that we have until March of 2025. But when you read the resolution, it does make sense that it appears that we should take it over immediately upon passage or upon the passage of the time. But so the mayor's had these meetings, and we believe our police department, we do have some staff that we plan for at the grants to prepare for annexation. Those people are at the police academy or about to go to the police academy. And so they'll be back middle of August. We'll have 3 back, but we do lose one to relocating to Texas, but we are working to hire that position. So we will have a little bit of overtime. We cannot, we never were going to manage this new 5 miles with the current staff. So to have the 3, we will increase our patrol. It will require some overtime to ensure that we have a new minimum of officers on, and that would begin September 1st at midnight. We will begin patrolling and providing services to the 5 miles, just to the west of our east boundary of NHK on 65 in Jefferson. So, thank you, Councilman Woods.
Want to make everyone aware of that. If they see things change, first part of September, they understand why, so.
Yeah, I've notified the department that this discussion has rapidly moved up the date. We have not released that, but we will tell. And now that everybody else knows, and it's passed, we'll let the department know.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have anything on that? Okay, next, we have some vacancies on committees and stuff because of the resignation of Megan. On the Finance Committee, I have asked John Large to be on that for the remainder of this year. I talked to Taylor, and I asked her if she would be okay with the Fire Committee and also the Street and Alley. So she's going to take over those two that Megan was a part of. But we also have the city plan that Megan, yeah, Megan is your appointment. You also have Greg Patchett, but then you have Megan. So I don't know how you want to handle that with the city plan.
I would suggest we open it to the council first to see if there's an elected official that would like to take that, and then if not, go to an employee. Wanted to fill the council out on that.
I'm already on the board.
Yeah,
What was in detail?
It's the third Wednesday of every month.
Don? Fourth. He's saying
Fourth.
fourth.
And I think it's important to probably let the council know we do have interest, right, of city employees? At least one?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
So there is someone willing to take it if the council.
And currently, like I said, you have Greg Patchett, who is a city employee on there. And I believe the way that reads, the state statute, tell me if I'm wrong, do you know that one? That they can be either an appointed or elected official, but they represent the council.
They just need the new member would need to meet the same requirements that Megan had, but otherwise, yeah.
Yeah.
If I knew more about it, I'd be interested, but I don't know a whole lot about it.
Would I not be able to slide into that for Megan?
You're already under a different.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but you're under it because, tell me why, you are,
I think just a mayor appointment.
okay, what about the BZA? He's-
Oh, yeah, I believe I'm the BZA rep.
You're the BZA rep. So, yeah, you couldn't be the BZA rep and the council.
I'm personally content as long as we have one counselor on there. I wanted to open it up.
And I don't think you're on there necessarily because you are a council member on the BZA. I think it's just who they appointed, you, right? Yeah.
What's our normal process? Do we ask for applicants or just take who has expressed interest?
In the past, the way I think they've done that is through building services. I think you've sent it out to the employees in the city of Frankfurt and ask if anybody's interested. If they are, then you collect those people that are interested. I don't know whether you had them write a small, I don't remember, was it a resume or something that showed their interest in it? Mhm.
Verify that's what they, engaged with. And if they do, then those that apply, we then bring to the council for your decision. I'll be happy through our office to pass that on to my councilmatic committee people, and then they can roll it out with how they want to roll it out. We're understanding that you can appoint person who lives in the city of Frankfurt or a person that works for the city of Frankfurt. Living in town.
That's correct about the residency, but it does have to be an elected or appointed municipal official employee. It can't just be any city resident.
I think we have had one person show interest. I don't know whether you're interested in doing that, whether you want to open it up or,
Well, I think we have to open it up
okay.
That's fair.
and then say we'll pick him at the next meeting.
Don, could you have your office then do that? Go ahead and send something out to all the employees. I think that's what we've done in the past. You've collected the applications and then make sure that they get back to the council before the next, okay, okay. Is that okay with everyone? Also, we have the insurance committee that Megan was on. let's see, currently on the insurance is Steve, and then Megan was. So is there anybody interested? Everybody's really thrilled about this, aren't they?
Maybe we need to think about that a little while.
I mean, you're welcome to think about it. We can always decide at a later meeting, but
Except they do have 3 important meetings a year, and one of them's Friday.
I know.
That's so good.
I'll take it if no one else wants it.
Okay.
One of the things with the insurance committee that I've pointed out to the committee in meetings and in email, and it never kind of gets any traction, but the committee is advisory in nature. They don't have the ability to make decisions. Per the ordinance, they recommend, and then it's up to the Board of Works and the utility board to approve. It's always bothered me that there's nothing in there to resolve a tie. It's something that we don't need to decide tonight or to deal with tonight, but I'd like at some point to have that addressed.
Something we probably need to look at. Well, that was probably established by resolution, so we'd probably have to go back and amend
Yeah, I don't know if probably a resolution, but it is, I've read the resolution, and it clearly, there's no authority within this committee.
Right.
And the committee often feels like they think that they just made a decision.
Yeah.
No, they made a recommendation.
Right. When they first established that many years ago, was the plan. Okay, so Eric, you're willing to do that. Thank you. You have a meeting Friday.
Friday at 10.
What's that pay?
I don't think it's on the payroll. Carol left some information in your packets for you that we'd like for you to review and get back with us how you want to move forward on that. Does anybody else have anything?
Just a reminder that we have the now newly established August 6th meeting at 6 PM, followed by August 12th regular meeting, and the budget hearings scheduled for 8:13 through 8:15, which we don't anticipate needing all that time, but probably will need all of the first day and part of the second day.
We'll probably get those.
I'll send the schedule out, but we typically start at 8.
What time?
8 a.m.
Just,
Yeah, everything first is signed tonight, Carol.
Yes, we do have the UDO amendment.
Are we still doing the July 22nd meeting?
No.
No.
Okay, that's why I was,
Originally, it was a target date, but it's not going to work out with the timeline for
that's why we're doing the August.
the public
6th.
hearing.
So, okay.
I don't have anything else. If no one else does, I'll take the motion.
Second.
Okay. Steve and Isaac.
I recognize that growl.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for coming to the council meeting this evening. Which one has to be signed?